This poll addresses the ongoing debate about the limits of free speech, particularly in the realm of offensive and hurtful opinions. It delves into whether individuals should be allowed to express their opinions freely, even if those opinions are offensive or hurtful to others. Some argue that freedom of speech is a paramount value that must be protected, even if it entails allowing the expression of unpopular or offensive viewpoints. This perspective emphasizes the importance of open discourse and the marketplace of ideas where different viewpoints can be debated and challenged. Proponents of this view often cite the First Amendment of the United States Constitution, which guarantees freedom of speech. They argue that restricting speech, even if it is offensive, can lead to censorship and the suppression of dissenting opinions. Furthermore, they contend that attempts to regulate speech can be easily abused, leading to the silencing of marginalized groups and the stifling of intellectual inquiry. The argument for unrestricted free speech also often includes the belief that exposure to diverse viewpoints, even those that are offensive, is essential for personal growth and the development of a well-informed citizenry. It is argued that individuals should have the opportunity to encounter and engage with different perspectives, even if they disagree with them, in order to strengthen their own beliefs and contribute to a more tolerant and understanding society. However, others believe that hate speech and other harmful opinions can have damaging consequences on individuals and society as a whole and should be regulated or restricted. This perspective emphasizes the potential for offensive speech to incite violence, discrimination, and other forms of harm. Proponents of regulation argue that certain types of speech, such as hate speech directed at specific groups or individuals, can create a hostile environment and contribute to the marginalization and oppression of vulnerable populations. They point to the psychological and emotional toll that offensive speech can take on individuals, as well as the potential for such speech to normalize and perpetuate harmful stereotypes and prejudices. The argument for regulating offensive speech also often includes the belief that such regulation is necessary to protect the rights and dignity of all members of society. It is argued that freedom of speech should not be absolute and that it should be balanced against the need to ensure equality and prevent harm. Proponents of this view often cite international human rights laws, which recognize the importance of protecting freedom of expression while also prohibiting hate speech and incitement to violence. The question of how to balance freedom of speech with the need to protect individuals from harm is a complex and contentious one. There is no easy answer, and different societies have adopted different approaches to this issue. Some countries have stricter laws regulating offensive speech than others, while others place a greater emphasis on protecting freedom of expression, even when it is unpopular or offensive. The results of this poll can provide insights into the public's stance on this important issue and can help inform discussion and decision-making on the appropriate balance between freedom of speech and the need to protect individuals from harm. Understanding public opinion on this matter is crucial for policymakers, educators, and community leaders as they grapple with the challenges of promoting both free expression and social harmony. This debate is not limited to legal and political spheres, but also extends to social media platforms and online communities. These platforms are grappling with how to moderate content and address hate speech while upholding freedom of expression. The poll results could offer guidance to these platforms as they develop their policies and practices. Furthermore, the poll results can be used to educate the public about the complexities of the free speech debate. By understanding the different perspectives on this issue, individuals can engage in more informed and productive discussions about how to create a society that values both freedom of expression and the protection of vulnerable groups. Ultimately, the goal is to find a balance that allows for the free exchange of ideas while minimizing the potential for harm. This requires a nuanced understanding of the different types of speech, their potential impacts, and the appropriate role of regulation. The poll is a starting point for further dialogue and reflection on this crucial issue. It is essential to remember that the debate surrounding free speech is constantly evolving, especially with the rise of new technologies and the changing social landscape. Therefore, ongoing discussion and critical analysis are necessary to ensure that policies and practices are aligned with both democratic values and the needs of a diverse and inclusive society. The poll serves as a snapshot of public opinion at a particular moment in time, and it is important to consider how these views may evolve in the future. The question of free speech is not simply a matter of legal interpretation, but also a reflection of societal values and priorities. As such, it is a topic that should be continuously examined and debated in order to ensure that the balance between freedom and responsibility is maintained. Moreover, the results can be compared with similar polls conducted in other countries or regions to gain a broader perspective on the issue of free speech. This comparative analysis can help to identify common themes and divergent viewpoints, as well as to understand the cultural and historical factors that shape attitudes towards freedom of expression. In conclusion, this poll is a valuable tool for exploring the complexities of the free speech debate and for informing discussions about the appropriate balance between freedom and responsibility. By understanding the public stance on this issue, policymakers, educators, and community leaders can work together to create a society that values both free expression and the protection of vulnerable groups.